I literally have piles and piles and piles of faux leather. This is only a little bit of the faux leather that I have, so guess what? We need to use it. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Patrice. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for being here. Please check out the other content. If you enjoy that content, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to this channel. For my returning subscribers and members, hey y'all, welcome back. So today, as y'all saw, I have tons and tons of faux leather. And before I buy any more faux leather, I better use up some of the faux leather that I already have. So today we are going to be making key fobs using faux leather, and we're going to be using our Siser Romeo to get this done. Now, if you have the Siser Juliet, you can also do the same exact steps that we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be walking us through doing the simple design inside of Leonardo Design Studio and then cutting this faux leather with our Siser cutter. Okay, so it's very, very simple. We're going to put it together and we're going to make us a key fob out of this faux leather. Let's look at all the materials that we're going to be using and then we'll be ready to get started. For today's project, we're going to be using a high-tech Siser mat. We're also going to be using an 8 by 13.5 piece of faux leather because our faux leather strip for the key fob is going to be about 12 inches wide or 12 inches long. You don't have to have it that long. You can maybe do about maybe 10 inches long. However, like, you want to make sure that it can go around your wrist if you want to make a wristlet. But if you want something a little bit smaller like this was about 8 inches long. Okay, and as you see, these can't go on my wrist, but I can hold it. It makes a good keychain, you know, so it's up to you. But I want to create a wristlet, so I'm using a longer piece of faux leather. You also want to have your pliers so that you could close the hardware. This is the key fob hardware that's going to be going on the end of the strips once we cut them out. The strips are going to be 1 inch in width, so this is going to fit perfectly. These are for 1 inch strips. And you can use some clips or you can use double-sided tape just to keep your key fob in place. You guys will see how we're going to be using this today. Sometimes I also use wood clamps to get it just to stay in place so that I can go ahead and clamp it down. All right, that's all that we're going to need, and we're going to be heading over to the Siser Romeo because of course we need our Siser Romeo as well. In preparation of cutting our strip, we're just going to place the faux leather on top. Now this faux leather is a little bit longer than the mat, but it's fine, and we'll probably make this about 11 inches. Now if you don't feel comfortable with having this on here, you can also grab some painter's tape and just tape your edges so that they're secure. Okay, y'all, before we head to our Romeo, we're going to dive into Leonardo Design Studio and we're just going to set up the shape of the key fob. So this can work with any shape. We're just doing a long rectangle for a wristlet. Okay, so we want to head down to the bottom and I'm going to select draw shapes and we're going to select the square. And then I am just going to put a square here or a rectangle here. And I'm going to input the dimensions over on the right side. So the width of this, I'm going to make this 11 inches. And the height is going to be 1 inch. And let's unlock our dimensions, and that way we'll be able to just simply put 1 inch right there. Okay, and so this is basically all that we have to do. Okay, I am also going to make a copy, so I'm holding down my option key. I'm working on a MacBook, and I'm just going to bring this up so that we can get ready to cut 2 of them out. Okay, that's all that we have to do to get this done. Now, if you don't have a Siser or a Cricut or any other cutter like that, you can just simply use a ruler or rotary and get this cut, okay, manually. So now let's go ahead. We're going to select Send Design, and we're going to select Send. And I'm going to be using the settings that I already have on my cutter. So that's why I have Use Cutter Settings. And that's all that we have to do. So let's get ready to head over to the Romeo. All right, guys, so now we're at the cutter, and I'm just going to get ready to place our mat under the blade. And clamp it down. And I'm just going to use the arrows on the machine to position the mat where we need it to be. Now, I need to definitely say this, that is already lifting up, and this is supposed to be the high tack mat. So you want to make sure that you have some painter's tape or masking tape to keep this down, okay? Because you don't want it to lift up. That will impact your cut. So I'm just going to go ahead and place another piece of painter's tape. I did put some in the corners, but I really think that I need a little bit more just to make sure that this stays down. So I'm just placing it just like this, right here at the edge. Okay, because you don't want it to lift up. And then I'm also going to place some here at the bottom, even though it's not going to be cut there, but that just helps to give it a little more support in staying down. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the force, and I'm going to put this force at a 70. That seems to be a good amount of pressure for me, so we're going to get ready to cut it. So I'm cutting it at a speed of 13, force of 70, but I do recommend you testing your settings out. A lot depends on the thickness of your faux leather, the blade, how much of the blade that you have out, also how old your blade is. A lot depends on that. So I definitely would recommend you to do a test cut of all of your material first. All right, so that looked like it cut, but I don't know if it cut all the way through, so let's see. All right, looks like we had some cuts going on. It looks like one part. So let's see. Let's see if we can lift it out. That cut good. I do have a little bit of a snag there. And here is the other one. And that one came out just fine. All right, guys, so we have our strip, or our two strips, and they cut out beautifully. So now we're going to simply just fold this in half. I'm going to get my clips, or if you have double-sided tape to keep it taped down, you should use that. And then I'm just going to place my clips here just to help me to keep it together, okay? Next, I'm going to grab the key fob hardware, and this is what it looks like. This set of key fob hardwares that I purchased, they have the keychain ring on it. And so you're just going to place that just like this, okay? Now you want to make sure you have it pushed all the way up, like that. And then you're going to get your pliers, and your pliers will help you to secure it. So you're just going to open up your pliers and then clamp down, okay? So I like to go a little bit, at least grab onto it like that, and then I place it in here. Make sure it's lined up good. and then bend that first side down. Gotta make sure it goes all the way down, and then you can turn it around and perform the same thing on the other side. Make sure you don't let it go. Okay. And just to make sure it's on there good, I'm just going to get hit right there. And now you see that it looks good. Okay, and that's the first one that we have. And then I'm going to do the second one. Remember how I said you wanted to go on your wrist? And this is 11 inches. So this one was 1 by 11 inches. Remember, once it's clamped together, you're gonna lose a little bit of space. But I still think 11 inches, that's still good too, right? So let's do that process again. Just gonna fold that in half like that. We're going to get our clamp. I'm gonna place that one here, maybe move it down a little bit. And then we're going to place this on top. And we're going to clamp that down. I'm just going to hold that like that. Make sure it's nice and lined up. And we're going to clamp down that side just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Yep, that looks good. I'm just going to take this and just press it down a little bit more. Make sure it's nice and secure. And it looks like it is. And there is our finished key fob, faux leather key fob made with our Siser Romeo. And if you look, those edges look really nice. It's a very, very nice cut on those edges. Got it. Look at the other one. The blade that we used was the regular 45 blade, and it still came out beautifully. All right, y'all, so that is it. Just that simple. That was so simple. And these are really nice. They make really nice gifts, really nice keychains. You can attach this to the handle of your bag, your purse. I love making these. And so you can definitely cut faux leather out with your Siser Romeo or your Siser Juliet. Just test out your pressure, your force, and see what works best for you. As you use your blade more, you may have to increase the force a little bit more. So just be conscious of that, or just be aware of that. But y'all, these came out super, super cute. I will have a link listed to everything that I used today. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.